bound only by frozen memories.
Right, so welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another podcast with your host, Timmy25. That's me, guys. That's me. I'm Timmy25, and welcome back to another Friday podcast. That's right, we're back with the talk show that everybody loves to watch. With your boy T4, and obviously we have got
The infamous. What's his name again? Exodus D, everybody. It's Exodus. That's right. I didn't forget his name. I knew it was Exodus. Welcome, Exodus D.
What up, everybody? It's your boy.
So, am I doubling up?
Doubling up.
I might be doubling up. Let me just mute this one down. Yeah, I'm. Oh, what the hell has happened here? Doing crazy thing. Check the properties on this one. Exodus.
Yo.
Okay, we can hear you. We can hear me. I think you guys can hear me as well, but I think the audio is going to be a little bit out of sync. I'm not sure.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mute in between each point. So when Exodus makes his points, I will put his mic back on. But yeah, we've got the infamous Exodus D with us. Hopefully you guys will enjoy today's little podcast. We've got something awesome for you guys on today's lineup. Interesting topics. So obviously just to give you guys a brief intro into what we're doing today. We've got the FairField 10 child abuse case to talk about. We've also got copyright scandal with Collab&Alinity. And also we're talking about what did you hear, Yanny or Laurel? And also not forgetting Michigan State University pays out £511 million in the Larry Nassar scandal that happened at that university. If you guys have just joined us, please be sure to slap a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe with notifications on if you're over at youtube.com. And if you're watching us over at twitch.tv, please be sure to hit that follow button so you don't miss more epic live streams just like this one. You guys might find my mic changes slightly as I keep swapping between mics. So just bear with me. I don't know what's happening today. It's gone. Last week it was no audio from the videos that I was playing. This week my voice is in echo mode. I don't know. Anyway, also we can't start without saying a massive shout out to you guys for joining us. Big shout out goes out to DY Plays YT over at twitch.tv with the first comment, the first view, and the first like. What's up? Dude takes the goddamn first place, takes the crown off. I think it was Brian Lloyd. So well done to you, young man. And also over at twitch.tv, currently we've got nobody over there, but I'm sure momentarily they'll all be jumping in over at twitch.tv to watch the live podcast for today. Also, not forgetting the infamous sponsors as always. Big shout out goes out to Cinch Gaming, City Keys, and not forgetting the infamous people over at Razer.com. Also, the T4 Army merch, guys. If you want to snag yourself something awesome and cool and tasty for the summertime, be sure to grab yourself something from the T4 Army merch. It's the best place to grab yourself something nice. Also, not forgetting G2A.com over at twitch.tv and the infamous G4G and Streamlabs, keeping those donations streamlined and glitch-free straight to your boy T4. Last donation was done by Brian Lloyd for the amazing $5. I know I've been shouting that out like literally every single week. So anyway, let's move on. So story of the day. We start off with the child abuse case over in California. I think it was in California. Or was it in California? I'm not sure. But we'll get to that in a minute. So, California couple. This was published by the Guardian, and it says the California couple abused 10 children amid horrific conditions, say police. Jonathan Allen and Ina Rogers allegedly carried out sadistic mistreatment in FairField home filled with rotten food, human and animal waste. That's right, everybody. Nothing like animal waste. So it was in California. So a Californian couple faced multiple charges of torture and child abuse after 10 children were discovered in horrific conditions in a suburban home. Jonathan Allen, 29, the children's father, denies 7 counts of torture and 9 charges of abusing the children, who are aged between 4 months and 12 years old, at their home in Fairfield, north of San Francisco. The mother, Ina Rogers, 31, will be charged with 9 counts of child abuse on Wednesday, prosecutors said. She has also denied any wrongdoing and told reporters that the allegations would fall away. In strong echoes of the ongoing prosecution of David and Louise Turpin, the sheriff's office in Saloano County said the children were rescued from the filthy house in March. They had suffered puncture wounds, burns, bruising, and injuries consistent with being shot with a pellet gun. Sharon Henry, the county's chief deputy district attorney, said they were tortured for sadistic purposes. They were discovered when police responding to a missing juvenile report visited the address and found a home filled with rotten food and human and animal waste. Stories about the alleged abuse have emerged gradually in interviews with the children, who are now in care. 8 of the children told professionals about incidents dating back several years. Authorities said it was not clear whether any California government agencies had an opportunity to intervene to prevent the abuse. However, Wanda Rogers, the children's maternal grandmother, told local TV that she suspected the children were being abused, calling Alan a monster. He would take the baby and slap it in the face and put duct tape on the baby's mouth to make it shut up, she told KNTV in San Francisco. The child's mother, Ina Rogers, told reporters that social services interviewed the children 3 years ago when her mother had mentioned something that prompted a home visit. However, nothing came of the investigation. My kids were placed back with me, she told reporters. Saliano child welfare officials did not immediately respond on Tuesday to a requested detail about the visit or information about the contact may have had with the family. In other similarities to the Turpin case, Rogers said she homeschooled the children, but the Fairfield home was not registered as a private school, and neither were 3 prior addresses in Fairfield and Vallejo. I don't know how you say that, Vallejo. According to the state education department, California law requires children to be enrolled in public school unless they meet specific exemptions, such as documented attendance at a private school. Parents who teach their own children can register as a private school, but the state does not approve, monitor, or inspect them. So, yeah, this is the story. There is a couple of extra things to add, saying Alan Edge denied the allegations in an interview with KCRA TV on Tuesday, saying, "I'm not an animal. The truth is that it is a functioning household." He said, "Everyone helped everyone. It was a complete circle. The older ones helped the little ones." I don't think that's what beating children means, everybody. But yeah, this is a story. And obviously the takeaway for you guys is, what is the takeaway? What can we say about this horrific... why has this video disappeared? There was a video here for you guys to watch, but it's gone missing. I mean, what is the takeaway from this? I mean, literally, children being abused. It's clear to see. I mean, if you saw... I mean, let me see if I can find some pictures of this house. It was absolutely disgusting. Let me just see if I can find some pictures of the actual house, just so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about here. Fairfield abuse case. There it is quite disgusting what was going on over there. Let's have a look at some images just so you guys can I mean, obviously you've seen the picture of the people on the podcast anyway. Oh, this is taking a bit of time to load. Hello, loading. Here we go. I'm just trying to get some... Oh, yeah, look at this disgusting picture. I mean, it was pretty horrific. I mean, that is what you're looking at there. This was one of the rooms that the kids slept in. And then there was this picture here as well of... This was the bathroom, which was filled with human feces and animal feces. And the mother's excuse for this was that she hadn't had chance to clean. But holy shit, I mean, that is pretty ridiculous if you ask me. You know, I mean, this is pretty much a disgusting case. That's the mother and father there, that you can see. And I mean, just in general, it was a pretty disgusting case. I mean, it was quite a disgusting thing that happened. And let me just play this quick little video for you guys, just so you get a breakdown of what was going on there. It should play the audio through as well, with any luck. He says he'll play, but will it play? Won't it play? We're about to find out. What's our Commander?
Now at 5, bruised, burned, and tortured. Police say these two parents let
that's white.
Their 10 children live in squalor and filth in their FairField
home. Nope, still going to create the echo.
Home.
Sorry, YouTube's a little bit slow today. Looks like it's not quite loading in.
The mother charged in all of this says she has.
It's got to load all this other shit as well. This is what I don't like with YouTube's platform a little bit. Is it just takes so long to load things.
No idea what police are talking about.
Well, she
and tortured. Police say these two parents let their 10 children live in squalor and filth in their FairField home. The mother charged in all of this says she has no idea what police are talking about.
Well, she even let our photographer into her home. Alan Martin takes us inside for a closer look at their living conditions. Alan?
Yeah, Ken and Liz, prosecutors say the torture was carried out, quote, for sadistic purposes. This investigation began back in March when police responded to a report of a missing child. Well, that led them to the home on Fieldstone Court in Fairfield. The missing child was found nearby. All 10 children were then taken into protective custody. The mother, 30-year-old Ina Rogers, was booked on child neglect charges. And on Friday, authorities arrested the father, 29-year-old Jonathan Allen, for what they call a long and continuous history of severe physical and emotional abuse.
The children describe incidents of intentional abuse resulting in puncture wounds, burns, bruising, and injuries consistent with being shot with a pellet gun or a BB gun.
The mother defended herself today, says that her children are her life. Ina Rogers took us inside her home. She says that she was cleaning it up to get her kids back. In the living room, there were piles of clothes on the couch. A look inside one of the bedrooms shows even more clothing and toys on the floor. The bathroom floor appears to be filthy. The bathtub had layers of dirt. Police found spoiled food on the floor among animal and human feces.
They put a restraining order on me for, it's a domestic violence restraining order against all my children because they said my house was dirty. I'm easily judged because I'm 31 years old and I have 11 children, but I work hard for my children. I'm in the medical field because I want to help people. I work every day to aid in the help against saving lives. Why would I ever have a house full of children that were abused or allow them to be abused? Babies, if you see this, your mommy loves you. Every day I am working for you, okay? So please stay strong because mommy is coming.
Jonathan Allen was in court today and did not enter a plea. He's facing 9 counts of felony torture and 6 counts of felony child abuse. His bail was increased to $5.2 million.
I'm horrified by the statements that were given by these children. Based upon what the children stated during their interviews, we believe that torture occurred in this house.
Police say the children are between the ages of 4 months and 12 years old and were homeschooled by their mother. The neighbors say they had no idea there were so many kids living in the home. Liz?
So that's the news with this case. The real topic is what can be done about this kind of thing that's going on. It's clear to a certain degree, but it's also not very clear. And obviously, I always pass the message off to you guys. What do you think, Mr. Exodus D? Let me know. What do you think about this particular case that went on in Fairfield?
I think it's just completely just a sore excuse for parents to, like, no way in hell should a house have feces and fecal matter and all that shit all over the fucking floor and shit. And they should not do that to the kids and, like, pretty much, like, starve them or give them rotten food.
Yeah.
And, like, that's just crazy. I've never heard of anybody that does that unless they're, like, crazy fucking parents.
I mean, it's a little bit insane to think that that these parents were doing this to their kids, and no one actually realized or recognized that this was actually happening in their neighborhood. Do you not think that's a bit weird?
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, they could have, like, curtains and shit, so they probably don't know what's going on back there. So,
but I'm just thinking,
yeah. I was gonna say, like, they could know, but they didn't want to get them, like, in trouble and shit. But then, same time, they could also have something like covering the windows and shit, so they're gonna see. But it just all depends on the neighbor. Like some people don't like to snitch.
I mean, are you thinking maybe like the kids were protecting their parents from them being found out or something, or do you think they were threatened? Maybe if they say something, they're gonna get more punishment or more abuse or whatever.
That could be a reason, but at the same time, like, parents or kids kids, especially of, like, younger age, like the 4-month-old and up and shit, up until, like, the 12-year-old, most kids don't really like being away from don't like being taken away from their parents. So they were probably just keeping the house shut so they can stay with their parents.
Do you think it's hard for kids to?
They're doing this.
I mean, do you think it's hard for kids to admit to their parents doing something wrong to them or abusing them or whatever? And even if that's the case, even if that's found to be true, that they can't come to terms with the fact that that has happened and that the parents are to be blamed for those things?
I mean, yeah, it is hard to deal with as a kid, but then the more you grow up and stuff, you'll realize, oh shit, that was, like, abuse. They were doing shit to me that they weren't supposed to. So it might take most of them a couple years to realize. Then the 12-year-old will probably find out in, like, a year or two, but then he probably didn't want to get his parents in trouble and sent to jail and shit. So
I mean, do you not find it a bit bizarre that the mum's excuse for her house being in such a state was because she was trying to clean it up, but because she worked so hard, she didn't have a chance to clean it?
That's completely bizarre and insane. Like, even if you don't have time, you should even if the kids weren't getting abused or if they're saying they're not abused at all, but if the house was messy and you're busy, you can have the kids clean it.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, that's what the dad was saying, like, the older ones take care of the younger ones and so on and so forth. But, I mean, is it the responsibility of children to look after a house?
By themselves, no. But, like, helping, like, clean and stuff, like having chores and stuff is okay, but having to take care of a whole house by themselves is just insane.
I mean, the thing is, they set the dad's bail at $5.2 million. Obviously, he's not getting bail anytime soon. And the mother got released on bail. I think it was a $10,000 bail, which was quite easy for her to get hold of. But, I mean, the kids have been taken out of her care now. They've been placed in care. Do you think it's a better way that now that the kids are out of her care, or do you think these kids will probably face, like, more long-term problems in society?
I think, like, for the older kids that understand what's going on, I think this will fuck with them, like, psychologically with the little, like, 4-month-old and stuff. They'll probably like won't really, like, remember it that much, but the older ones will. So that will completely fuck them up in their brain.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's never nice. It's never a nice topic to talk about child abuse and things like that. It is a delicate topic, and I feel for the family. I feel for the kids. So I mean, whenever children are involved in these kind of things, I always feel particularly sensitive to it, because I just think that some people are praying, some people are literally begging to have a child, and then you got these people who've got 11 kids, and they're literally just abusing that fact that they've got that chance to have children, you know. And the other thing as well, social welfare. Surely the mum must be making some serious money on social welfare with 11 kids. Am I wrong in thinking that?
I don't know. You might be, but at the same time, you could be completely right. She could be. I think the way it works in California and stuff, I think it's the more kids you have, the more you make.
Exactly. So I'm just thinking,
I could be completely wrong.
Because the dad didn't work.
I should know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. You should know because you're from California. That's what I was asking.
Exactly. Being in California, I should know, but I don't.
But the thing is that it's still very sickening to hear these cases come up. And I mean, the thing is, the real question I really want to pass off to you, Exodus, is, I mean, if they are found, I mean, at the moment this is only accusations, but and nothing has been proven yet, so it's still like a conspiracy of accusations. But if they are to be found guilty of these kind of crimes, what do you think the kind of sentencing should be for this kind of thing happening? Drink some water, Exodus, before you die. Don't want you to die on the stream, dude.
7 years per kid.
7 years per kid, so that means they're never leaving prison. That's what you're saying.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
I mean, the thing is, I would even opt to go to the extent of maybe, I don't know, does California still have the death penalty?
I believe so.
So, I mean, me personally, I would opt for the death penalty, to be honest with you, because I know it's harsh, but I think that no matter how long the parents stay in prison for, they'll still be living, they'll still be alive, they'll still be eating and drinking and what have you. But for those kids, they're going to have to live forever with the consequences of what happened and why the system,
that is true.
You know, the system didn't kick in. Yeah. The system didn't get involved, didn't protect them from being vulnerable.
Until 7 years later.
Yeah, and I think that's bad, man. That is, you know, that is pretty sickening, considering we hear so much about these kind of cases all the time nowadays. It's
unfortunately.
Yeah, I just think, you know, I think there should have been more done, and you know, I mean, considering there was apparently California's social services, as it were, child protection services, they actually got involved with the family 3 years before this incident took place, and nothing was reported
Did they not
back.
go inside the house?
Yeah, apparently they went in the house, they interviewed the kids, and
they
nothing was
fucking known, so they probably cleaned.
I'm just thinking, like, you know, I mean, the state the house was in when the reporters got in there and whatever, I mean, it was a massive contrast to what was on the report sheet. But apparently the reports hasn't even been seen from Child Services in California from that visit that they did do. The other thing as well is education side. I mean, the mother, apparently, she was homeschooling the kids, but never declared any of the properties that she lived in, from this one to the ones before, that she was homeschooling, and to declare her home as a private school. Do you think that raises some questions of trying to hide from the state?
Yes, because if the kids were going to a normal school and teachers saw that, they would immediately contact the police.
I mean, in normal schools, they would have spotted, surely, like, some sort of abuse going on at home. For
sure, easily.
So, I mean, the thing is, the part of the story that really hits me hard is when they say that the dad used to slap the baby around the mouth, around the face, and then used to tape the face with duct tape to keep it quiet. I mean, that is just, you can't even imagine that. That's something like out of like Training Day, you know. This is like insane. Okay, it's insane. If you guys haven't seen Training Day, check it out, because there's a part in that film which kind of vividly brings back pictures of what that kid must have been like. But I mean, the thing is, that's the story. The question I want to pass up to you guys is, if they are found guilty of this particular malicious crime against the kids, what do you think?
What do you think the punishment should be? What kind of prison sentence should they get? Should they get any prison sentence, or should it be more than that? Also, the other question I want to pass off to you guys is, what about the kids? What kind of help do you think they're going to need? What kind of help do you think they should get? And what can we do more as a society to kind of prevent these kind of things from happening? Are we too enclosed in our own little worlds to realize when other people are doing mean things to other people? Let me know in those comments down below what you guys are thinking, whether you're watching us live, whether you're watching us on playback. Please let me know. I'd love to read those comments and get an idea of what you guys are feeling watching this video. Moving on. Exodus, is there anything you want to add?
Just before we move on?
Fuck the parents.
Right, moving on swiftly. Exodus D says fuck the parents. Is to do with the copyright scandal, which I'll read this is from 9Buzz, a BuzzFeed wannabe. Wow, new copyright scandal info revealed Trump. So there is a video. I could play it actually, I think. This is from Philip DeFranco's show, so listen out for this one. This is going to be...
What's up, you beautiful bastards? Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. Welcome back to the Philip DeFranco Show, and let's just jump into it. And the first thing we're going to talk about today is the incredibly important update around the Alinity PewDiePie DRM situation. And if you didn't see yesterday's show, I'm going to kind of give a simplified summary of a thing that I mentioned yesterday, and then now the new information that we are being given via Alinity. So the whole story started, of course, with Alinity, who's during a live stream watching a PewDiePie video. He uses like 4 seconds of her. He's doing an eye tracking video. Refers to the several women in the video as Twitch thoughts. She has a huge reaction, says I'm going to strike him for saying that. We later learn that she doesn't mean strike, that she means claim, but we see her storm off. And separately, we did learn that PewDiePie's video did get claimed, and we got confirmation of that from Felix. And one of the biggest updates to this story is Alinity did eventually get back to me with a statement. She also released it publicly. I asked if we could have a call because there were some things I didn't understand. There were some things
what's happening with the actual video itself. This is the scandal that happened between PewDiePie and this Twitch streamer, this Twitch thought called Alinity. She is a Twitch streamer who fits the profile of the typical girl streamer. Let's put it that way. The ones that every girl streamer hates being placed under, she's one of those. So for all those girl streamers out there who stream like normal people would stream, this is the cringe of what streaming as a girl is like. For example, they have the webcam like this big, and then they have the game like this tiny, because they want you to check out the merchandise. So that is this was something that came up. So yeah, this was from this was reported on by Philip DeFranco, and also PewDiePie made a video about this as well. So basically, there was this issue with Alinity, where she saw PewDiePie's video and what PewDiePie had to say about her in particular, and she decided to copyright PewDiePie's video basically through a company called Collab&Alinity, and Collab actually deal with they're like a sub company who their job is basically to watch what people are stealing from other content creators, and then what they do is they copyright the video basically on your behalf. Now, the problem arises when she's watching what PewDiePie has to say about her critically, and then decides to say it on her own stream that, hey, should we copyright PewDiePie's video? Actually, can we copyright PewDiePie's video? And then turning around and saying, we should copyright strike PewDiePie's video. So after that, the video does get copyright strike from Alinity on behalf of Collab, and basically everything goes to crazy from that point, where everybody starts to attack this young lady called Alinity, and basically from that point she can't stand the backlash that's happened from this particular thing, from this particular incident. The story is, to be honest with you, is pretty boring, but the thing is, it drew so much attention that I had to talk on it, in the sense of to talk about the concept of copyright and to talk on the concept of what you shouldn't do if you yourself are a streamer, or you yourself are in YouTube, and you use and you have content, and people maybe use the content to review your videos or whatever it would be. This is how you shouldn't react, especially when someone on a massive platform like PewDiePie, the biggest one in the whole of YouTube, decides to take a look at your video. And the thing is, she didn't even make, the funny thing is that PewDiePie didn't even make the comment about her. She featured in his video, but the comment was made about a completely different streamer. But she reacted to that, saying, we can claim the video because I was in it for 1 second. So she does it. She doesn't like the backlash that happens afterwards, because you can clearly hear her say in the video that should we claim back PewDiePie's video, and that's exactly what happens. She uses a company called Collab who does it for her, and it's done. PewDiePie then responds with, I can't believe this girl actually did what she just did. They go at it on Twitter, and then everyone is just attacking this girl. Literally, they're on her like shit flies on shit, literally. So there is no way of escape. So the problem is, and the reason I brought up this topic in today's podcast, is to talk about why you shouldn't do certain things a certain way, because if you do, then it will cause you to have backlash that you not really, one, you can't deal with, because the bro army is just too big, and two, you won't be able to understand how to come out of it as the bigger person. So after all of the dust has settled, basically, she starts to backtrack, saying that she didn't say anything. She didn't say anything wrong. She didn't do anything wrong. Collab DRM, they did the claiming of the video. She had nothing to do with it. She didn't suggest anything. She didn't do anything. But it's not true. It's a complete lie. It's a complete facade, because she obviously said it in her live stream. If you say something like that in your live stream, and then whether you did something afterwards or you didn't, and then it does take a person's video down, especially someone like PewDiePie, you're going to get a hell of a lot of backlash if they find out that it was you that did it. So that's where it stands, and that's where the story stands. And the problem is that I feel like people like Alinity should be banned on the platform. They are on Twitch getting... Literally, they're getting such an easy ride to grow their audience, to grow their channels, to get more people to follow them on Twitch, and they don't even play games properly. This is the annoying thing. They don't even play the game. You got these 9-year-olds just joining the stream and just watching her tits bounce up and down. It's disgusting, and I'm just like, where's the parents? Where is the parents? It's ridiculous. Okay, and I think that with this particular topic, the main questions I really want to pass up to you guys, especially to Exodus, is what should be the real repercussions if a streamer or even a YouTuber is caught illegally, to a certain degree, like forcibly taking someone else's video down because they don't like what they have had to say about them. Because we're all open to criticism, especially YouTubers and streamers, because we're in the public eye. So we are all open to that. We know that happens. But the thing is, if you don't like what someone's saying about you and you're taking their video down because of that, that's just showing how low you are. So the questions I want to pass up to you guys: what should happen? What should be the real repercussions for somebody who does things like that, who goes out their way using a company to take down other people's videos because they don't like what people are saying about them? And the second question is: should streamers like Alinity be allowed to stream on Twitch? They're bringing a bad taste to Twitch. They keep bringing up all these weird things, and they keep creating these streams where the screen is tiny for the game, but her actual webcam screen is 90% of the screen. I mean, surely that ratio isn't what people are watching, are they? Should they be allowed to have that kind of leeway into the world of streaming? It doesn't it create a bit of a weird world for those who are trying to stream properly and be proper streamers? Let me know what you guys think.
But Exodus D, what do you think?
To answer the second question first, I think people like what she does is just a bad image on Twitch because it just shows that they're pretty much like sexualizing female streamers. Well, not them, but the female streamers are sexually like exploiting themselves for more money and shit, and like that's something Twitch should just be like, no, you can't do that here.
But the thing is, it seems like Twitch is giving. The thing is, Twitch is giving her a leeway though. They're still allowing her to continue streaming on the platform even after this incident. I mean, surely there must be something. There should be a bigger repercussion for her, surely.
There should be, but since she's making Twitch so much money, they're not going to do anything about it.
And I think that's what the problem is. Is a lot of these bigger streamers, this is what's happening, is that they're making so much money for the site that they just like, well, just carry on. Just do your thing. Don't worry about it. You continue being a Twitch store. Anyway, relating back to the first question, what do you think about that?
I think it's something...
Yeah, what should be the repercussions,
The repercussion should be like, she just gets like banned from Twitch and then not be able to like do it on any other like live streaming sites, because if she's gonna do that, and then once somebody calls her out for it, she's like, and then she like cries about it because somebody called her out for it. That's literally being a fucking child. Like,
I mean, I'm not even just talking about. I'm not just talking about the idea of just her. I'm talking about in general, like. If a streamer is displaying 90% of their screen to them, and then like 10% to the game, surely that ratio itself shouldn't be allowed. They shouldn't be. They should be doing something about that thing even happening. Surely, right?
They should, but just like with her, all the other people that are doing that are making Twitch so much money that they're just not going to do anything, and I mean, it's just something that shouldn't be allowed in general. Like, it should be like it should be the other way around. It should be 90% game and 10% the face cam.
I mean, the thing is with YouTube, for example, you can't show any sexual content. If you show any sexual content, the video generally will be either slipped into the mature side of things, or it gets deleted off YouTube's platform. Twitch is a bit bizarre. It's like a cam girl kind of scenario that I'm finding on some of these streamers. There's not loads of them, but there's enough of them to cause a ripple effect throughout the rest of the Twitch stream. And I'm just thinking, what are young boys even thinking? Are they gonna? She's not exactly gonna show you her tits or something on the stream. I don't get it. She's not exactly good at the games either, but. So what is the fascination? Is it just in case? What is it? I'm trying to understand this.
I honestly don't know, because I literally didn't start watching Twitch until like I was like 17, and by then I was like, I don't really look at like the games that they play, like League of Legends and stuff. I was just looking up like Grand Theft Auto 5. So
right, okay.
But there's kids that are into some freaky shit. I don't know.
I know. It's just a weird place. I just don't understand how YouTube are able to somehow keep such a clean record on their site. With things like nudity, even with thumbnails. You can't even have thumbnails with certain types of pictures because it will get you the video instantly banned. It will instantly remove that video from the site. Whereas with Twitch, they I don't get it. They just letting this stuff just carry on. Like there was Zoe Burger a little while ago. There's still a load of other streamers who are doing this. They brought in this new rule where you had to dress a certain way. You couldn't be dressed like semi-naked or whatever it was. So I just don't understand how the hell these people are getting away with this sort of stuff, And someone like PewDiePie bringing it to the attention, I guess, of the world. surely that should make Twitch change things even more. But I don't understand what's going on there.
I don't know. They just care about the money, but they don't really care about this. Like, I don't know. They don't really care much about the users. They care more about the money.
And I think that's something very interesting, because I think Twitch is very, very money driven compared to. I mean, I don't want to say YouTube isn't money driven. It is, but I think Twitch
But
in
at
general.
least they care about nudity and shit.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, I think they feel like they have a responsibility to maintain a clean site versus what's happening with Twitch. And I think that's where the difference is. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm still baffled by the amount of kids that are watching these people. I just don't know. Leave the stream and come to mine. Okay, mine's much better. Promise. I don't shout it. Is there anything else you want to add to this little story with Alinity and Collab&Alinity?
No, I'm good.
I mean, actually, there is one more thing I wanted to touch on. Even with companies like Collab&Alinity, do you think these kind of companies should even exist to be able to allow like streamers and YouTubers to be able to copyright other people's videos? That these companies work on their behalf, looking and sifting through video content to find other channels that may have used their content. Do you think they should even be allowed to exist?
No, because if the streamer is getting talked about and they know about it, the streamer should just take it down. They don't need to hire somebody else to do it for them.
Yeah. Yeah, but the other thing as well is like in the public eye, surely, you should understand that you may face some criticism from someone who may be watching your content and disagrees with what you're saying, or maybe wants to highlight or showcase a part of your content which isn't, I don't know, appropriate, or they disagree with, or they find revolting, or whatever it may be. Do you not think that's also another thing?
It is, for sure.
Okay, well, we're going to move on from this story. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, whether you're watching us live, whether you're watching us on playback. Let me know what you think in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys and get an idea of what everybody else is thinking. We're moving on swiftly. I'm just quickly going to check if this stupid thing has turned off the audio. That's it. Put a feeling the other webcam is picking up audio. So what if I do? Oh no. Sorry about that. I was just doing something in the middle of doing the podcast. Right. So anyway, moving on swiftly. Second to last story. This is about this Laurel and Yanny. So Laurel and Yanny, what did you hear? The main question. If you don't know about Laurel and Yanny, I'll play this little 32-second clip for you guys. So please be sure to turn up your mic so you guys can hear.
Laurel and Yanny, everybody. Have a little listen. What did you hear? Laurel or Yanny?
Laurel, 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 Laurel.
So what did you guys hear? Did you hear Laurel or did you hear Yanny? There is a quick explanation before you guys drop your comments down below and let me know what you guys heard. Laurel and Yanny explained, why do some people hear different words? Original audio clip comes from vocabulary.com and features voice repeating one word. But which one do you hear? Now, before, obviously, I give you the explanation of how this actually works and why this actually happens.
Exodus D, what did you hear? Laurel or Yanny? Exodus is there.
Sorry. The first couple times I heard Laurel, and then the rest of the time I heard Yanny.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating. I mean, me personally, when I was listening to it, I could only hear Laurel. Okay, I couldn't hear any Yanny. So, I mean, I would love to hear what you guys have heard. I mean, if you guys are watching us on Playlook or whether you're watching us live, drop it in the comments down below. I'd love to know if you guys are hearing Laurel or are you hearing Yanny, because I find these kind of things very, very fascinating. But to break down this little story for you guys, there is something which you guys probably don't know about, which I'm going to explain, which is how this actually works. So the audio illusion, which first appeared on Reddit, seems to be saying one word, but whether that word is Yanny or Laurel is the source of furious disagreement. So Professor David Alice from the University of Sydney's School of Psychology says the Yanny-Laurel sound is an example of perpetual ambiguous stimulus, such as the Necker cube or the face vase illusion. They can be seen in two ways, and often the mind flips back and forth between the two interpretations. This happens because the brain can't decide on a definitive interpretation. Alice says if there is little ambiguity, the brain looks onto a single perceptual interpretation. Here, the Yanny or Laurel sound is meant to be ambiguous because each sound has a similar timing and energy content. So in principle, it's confusable. All this goes to highlight just how much the brain is an active interpreter of sensory input, and thus that the external word is less objective than we'd like to believe. Alice says for him, the permissible many others is 100% Yanny without any ambiguity. That lack of ambiguity, he says, is probably down to two reasons. Firstly, his age. He's 52. His ears lack high-frequency sensitivity, a natural result of aging. And secondly, a difference of pronunciation between the North American accent, computer-generated Yanny and Laurel, and how the words would actually naturally be spoken in Australian or British English. So the interesting thing there is that it seems like if you heard this and you're like maybe UK-based, you would hear a specific word. And if you're maybe in Australia, you'd hear a different kind of word. Or if it was in America, if you're North American, you'd hear one word. If you're Southern American, you'd hear another word. And the age has a massive impact as well. So the argument is further supported by Assistant Professor of Audition and Cognitive Neuroscience, Lawrence Rickett at Massachusetts University. Speaking to The Verge, Ricky suggests the secret is frequency, but some of it is also the mechanics of your ears and what you're expecting to hear. So there is a slight delusion that your mind is already made its mind up on this is what you're supposed to be hearing, and that's what you hear, rather than being objectively open-minded and then allowing your mind to filter what you're hearing to then decide what you're hearing. So believe it or not, some people actually are. The word could actually be Yanny, but they're actually hearing Laurel. And then some people, it's like the word they've decided is Laurel, but the word that's spoken is actually Yanny. No one will ever know because the debate is ongoing because of the factors that I've spoken about. I mean, Exodus, do you not find these kind of things fascinating when these kind of things are brought to light?
At first, yeah, but then once people start to like overuse and stuff, it kind of gets annoying.
I mean, do you think like? I mean, did you do this with your friends when this came out?
No, I just woke up in the morning. Like when I first found out about it, I just woke up and I was just going through Instagram and I saw that.
I mean, the thing is, the amount of arguments that this thing has brought up is ridiculous. Yeah. You know, people saying no, they heard Yanny, no, they heard Laurel. So, what would you say?
It's like in black and yellow or white and gold.
But that's it. It's the same thing with that. You know, like, did you see blue? Did you see gold? Or did you see black? Or did you see white? You know, like, believe it or not, your mind is already making up the decision before you even hear. Even though you're like, no, I'm going to be objective. I'm gonna listen to what it has to say. You haven't. You've already made your mind up because they're giving you two choices, and you already sit in one camp or you sit in the other camp. But the irony is that for you start to hear one word and then you start to hear a different word altogether afterwards. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like I was saying to you guys before, this wasn't a big top conversation. I just found it really fascinating that, you know, it's the same thing with the blue and the gold thing. You know, what did you see? Did you see blue? Did you see yellow? You know, I just find these things interesting because it's like we think we hear something. Like, I give you an example. I was watching the World Cup with the wife, and Egypt and another country was playing, and for some weird reason, Saudi Arabia were playing, and this other team, and for some weird reason, the commentator said the word Egypt. He said, like, this will be Egypt's last game if they don't get through to the next knockout, and it was Saudi Arabia that's playing, and he said the word Egypt, and I was like, and I didn't hear it. The wife heard it and said to me, he just said Egypt, and then I was like, what? No, he didn't. He said Saudi Arabia. So my mind had corrected his mistake. So I rewound the video, played it again, and he actually said Egypt, and my mind had said Saudi Arabia. It corrected his mistake. So it's very interesting because even sometimes I've watched some of my videos back and I've realized like I've made a mistake on what I've said, or I've used the wrong word, or I've used I'm afterwards I'm like, you're supposed to be saying this, you idiot. Why have you started saying this completely different thing? So it's really bizarre how these kind of things happen. But I just find these things absolutely incredible because it shows how much our cognitive works and how we think. And how much impact that has on the outcomes of what we perceive to do or not to do. But like I said to you guys before, let me know what you guys heard. Did you hear Yanny? Did you hear Laurel? And you know, before you put your comments down about what you heard, let me know how old you are as well, because and where you're from, because that has apparently a massive impact on what you hear. And I would just love to see the variation and comments of whether you heard Yanny, whether you heard Laurel, if we get any comments at all. Let me know in the comments down below if you can participate in that. That'd be really cool. But anyway, we're moving on. We're moving on
to the last and final story, and that is from the Vice. Vice News gave us an update on the Larry Nassar's the victims. Now, if you guys don't know who Larry Nassar is, we spoke about him in a few podcasts ago, and I think Exodus was with us on that, and so was there was someone else. I don't know if MBC was with us or somebody else, but Larry Nassar, it might have been Tara actually. Larry Nassar basically was this medical aide for gymnastics in the Michigan State University, and he spent, I don't know how many years it was now, but let me see it was a lot of time. I'm just trying to see how long. Okay, so just to give you a heads up, Nassar, also the former team doctor of USA Gymnastics, pleaded guilty in February to numerous counts of sexual assault and abuse over decades, so more than 20 years, making it among the worst sex abuse scandals in sports history. Nassar has admitted to that he abused girls under the guise that he was offering them medical treatment. Olympic gold medalist Gabby Douglas, Ali Raisman, and Michaela Maroney say they are victims of Nassar. He faces a prison sentence of up to 175 years for sexual abuse convictions, which would be in addition to the 60 years federal prison sentence he's already serving for several counts of possessing child pornography. So Nassar, that's just a quick breakdown of Nassar. So basically, Michigan State University has actually agreed to pay $500,000 in settlement fees with hundreds of women and girls who say they were sexually assaulted and abused by gymnastics coach Larry Nassar. The university said it will pay $425 million to 332 victims, setting aside $75 million for any future victims who come forward. It's not clear how the $425 million will be divided, as it's not clear how Michigan State will finance the payout. Nassar had contact with many of his victims at his Michigan State office, and the university was implicated in suits claiming school officials enabled his crimes. So, I mean, this is the sick son of a bitch right here. If you didn't know what he looks like, that's what he looks like. This is pretty face right there. So basically, I mean, this is the story. I'm glad to see the end of this sick son of a bitch. But the question I really want to pass off to you, Exodus D, and to
watching
you
this
guys
at home is what do you think that the university is doing a right? Do you think that the university is doing a right thing by paying out this money to the victims? Do you think the university is partially to be blamed for allowing this to happen, or do you feel like they're just doing this so they can get their name back? Exodus D, what do you think?
I think it's good that they're paying for paying the victims and stuff for what happened. In a way, this could be a name or a way to free up their name, or it could also just be a way to tell people like, hey, look, we're trying to do something to help them.
I mean,
we're trying to figure out a way to help them get through this.
I mean, paying out doesn't change history, right?
No, but it could help, like, with their name, but not with the guy's name, but with, like, the university to be more, like, pristine and, like, classy. Like,
I mean,
to be like, yeah, this happened while we were at he's at the university, but we're trying to help them the best we can.
Yeah. Do you think that $500,000 is enough?
Is that per victim, or is that just in total?
That's gonna be split between. I mean, that's gonna be split between 332 victims. So I'm just gonna quickly do a quick little math here for you guys. So 425 million. It's just million. Yep. 425 million. This is 42. Yeah. Okay. Divide that by 332 people. So they're roughly going to get 130,000 each, roughly, in compensation. Now the thing is, just to bear this in mind, though, Exodus, there is no clear way of how they're going to divide the $425 million. So what I did, I just did 425 divided by 332, and then made it an equal share. But the university hasn't decided on how the shares are going to work. Whether some victims will get more depending on the severity of their abuse and blah blah blah. But should it be like that, or should it just be an equal payout for everybody?
It should just be an equal payout for everybody because they were all victims.
Exactly.
I mean, how severe it was.
A victim's a victim, right? I mean, the whole point of this university doing this in the first place is to show their compassion to
that they care.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking, like, why would they need to ponder about who should get more, who should get less?
Yeah,
any ideas?
They should just put it just evenly, just amongst everybody.
I mean, they've also put aside out of that $500,000 settlement fee, 75 million to one side.
For any future victims.
Yes. Do you think that's going to be enough?
I mean, if there's only like 5 or 6 more, then yeah. But if there's more than that, which I'm pretty sure there probably is.
I mean, exactly. I mean, we're saying over.
It's not going to be enough.
I mean, I'm saying like this has apparently been happening for over 30 years at Michigan State University. There's surely
there's gonna be thousands.
Surely there's more than 332 victims. Surely.
Yeah, there's gonna be thousands of victims easily.
I mean, the sad thing about this whole case is that this guy, right? He had involvement with the U.S. gymnastics team. I mean, how does that make you feel?
Yeah. Fuck, dude, that's hard. I mean, that feels like fucked up because they should do like back, even though he had no prior things, they should do like more like extensive like searches for the person, or like call the universities and stuff, or the places that he's worked at.
I mean, do you think there's been enough work done to try and find victims, or do you think they could have done more?
They could have done more. They could have really went through every single person that was in gymnastics during the time that he was working for either the USA or Michigan. They should have done all the people and see how many people they can find that will actually like confess.
I mean, do you think? I mean, the thing is, the guy's serving 60 years in federal prison for possessing child pornography. That's what he's serving currently. He has got 175 years of sexual abuse convictions to carry out in another prison. Do you not think it would just be easier just to kill the guy?
It would be way easier, and it would just give like the victims more like, oh, you're like, okay, if they kill him in prison, then there's no chance of him escaping, even though he probably wouldn't even be able to.
Because I'm just thinking, like, if he's in prison, right? I don't know how it is in America. I know how it is over here in the United Kingdom, but in America, if you're done for things like child abuse or child pornography, are you not put in like a special unit where no other prisoners can get to you?
No, usually they just put you in like general population.
Really?
And then all the other prisoners will like gang up on like all of the molesters and stuff.
Ah, so maybe justice will be served then, without us having to do anything else. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I mean, there's no way you can hide from that because literally everyone in the prison service would know who you are.
Yeah, especially if you're him.
But I don't know. I mean, the only thing I'm concerned about is that I just feel like there is a slight injustice being done here, where the guy was able to do what he did for 30 odd years, and then he gets put away in prison for 60 years for one crime, and then 175 years for another crime. Obviously, he's going to die in prison. He's never going to get let out. He's a sicko and whatever. But surely, I think for the crimes that he committed, for the time that he did it for, I just feel like
he could have done it way earlier.
I just feel like he should have been given the death penalty for this one. You know, I mean,
yeah.
No one's gonna have any sympathy for the guy, and even if you're his kids, if you're his wife, you know, even his mother, I don't think would have sympathy. Surely.
No.
You know, I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, you could call about second chances, but damn, there's no second chance here, right?
There's no second chance where you've done it multiple times.
Man, I don't know. I mean, the question I really want to pass off to you guys, if you're watching us on playback or watching us live, do you feel they should have just given him the death sentence for what he did? I mean, he's a dirty piece of shit. I mean, there is no two ways about it. And if that's not the case, do you feel like the amount of victims that they've got, 332 victims over 30 years, does that make sense? Does that number make sense? Does the 500,000 actually make it enough money? Or is there more victims out there that maybe they're not processing, they're not looking for, they're not finding, whatever it is? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below, whether you're watching us live, whether you're watching us on playback. Exodus, is there anything you want to add to this story before we move on?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, for all the victims over the years, there could also be like a fair amount of them that have like died from like other reasons.
That's something I didn't actually think about. That's very true because, you know, a lot of times suicide and people taking their own lives is due to trauma and things that have happened to them in the past. So that's not a bad point.
And there could also be them that just died in an accident or something, or had like a heart attack or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different factors why there's not as many people as there should be.
Interesting, very interesting. But I still think 332 is way too little. Way too little. I think there should have been way more victims than that. You know, I mean, you know, one little finger and the vajaz. Surely that's a victim, right? Anyway, Anyway, that's your podcast for today, guys. Obviously, I want to say
a massive thank you to Mr. Exodus D for joining us on another week's podcast. Thank you very much, Exodus.
Anytime you need me, I'm here.
And also, if you guys want to join us in any future podcasts, all you have to do is join us over at discord.com, where you guys can get into the T4 Army chat. Just find that on Discord. It's quite easy to look for. All you got to look for is T4 Army chat. And just drop in the comments down there whether you want to be featured as a guest. You can drop it in the YouTube comments as well. I do read them. But for guests, I always encourage you guys to come over to Discord, because you need Discord to be able to join the podcast as a guest, as Exodus D and all the other guests have done in the past. I just want to obviously finish the show by saying a massive thank you for everybody for watching us live. And for those of you who are watching us on playback, I know a lot of you guys watch these videos when you're traveling and when you're out and about doing your day-to-day tasks. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for watching us. If you guys want to get involved, you know what you need to do. Also, if you, we've also got obviously a big shout out to the sponsors. As always, without them, it wouldn't be possible to do what we're doing. Big shout out goes out to Cinch Gaming, CD Keys, and not forgetting the infamous people over at Razor.com. Also, don't forget to go check out the T4 Army merch. We've got awesome new designs dropping very, very soon on our next sale date. Did you guys snag something on the last sale date? If you missed out, the new one's coming out soon. So be sure to look out for that. Also, not forgetting G2A.com over at Twitch.tv and G2A and G4G and Streamlabs. Keeping those donations streamlined and glitch free to you, boy T4. So thank you very much for everybody who's ever donated to the channel. If you want to donate, click the links in the description. G4G and Streamlabs are both there. G4G just gives you more options, and Streamlabs is PayPal based. It's very straightforward to use their service as well. We have got a goal of £200. We're not far away. We're at £123. So be sure to drop something if you feel like you want to donate and participate to the success of the channel. Thank you very much. But that's it. We'll be back tomorrow with, I think, GTA5 PS4 or maybe Fortnite. I'm not 100% yet. We will see how late I get back tomorrow, because I'm going to be out all day. So I'll get back and I'll decide what we're going to be playing. But I guess until then, guys, as always, stay safe, stay awesome, and peace.